Achieved.
Good morning, world, and welcome into Studio Day Heifer. It's nice to have you today. Today, we have a few things. One of my favorite pastimes, which I swear I'm almost done doing. I kind of want to be done doing it, but every time something else pops up, it's like, oh man, that's funny. We're going to talk about another nail in Jason Garrett's Cowboys coffin, brought to you by one of the Cowboys' best players and one of Jason Garrett's favorite players. Zeke taking shots at Garrett. Got that for you today. The cure to the Cowboys' red zone woes. Have some of that as well. And we have an old team on our hands, and I'll tell you why that is A-OK with me. So, 3 different things to get to today. Let us start at the beginning. What I'm going to show you right now is John Machota posted it, but it's a quote from Ezekiel Elliott the other day talking about the Cowboys offense and what is different. So I want you guys to take a gander at this. As far as play design and all that, it's a lot of the same stuff, Zeke says. I would just say we married up our pass looks and our run looks a lot more, so they're a little bit less predictable. I think that's probably the most change. More runs out of the gun. It's just... Do you ever stop and think, like, man, the Cowboys had, by some measures, the most efficient offense in the league last year. Some would say the best offense in the league last year, despite the fact that they were handcuffed in like 7,000 different ways. If you think Dak isn't good, when you look at all the hurdles that this dude was jumping over last year playing quarterback for Jason Garrett and his team, it's absurd. What's going on with my bucket hat? Not a lot of shape to it today. Just kind of flopping. So, yes, think about that for a second. The Cowboys last year, and look, people like to throw out the word predictable with the Cowboys a lot, and they did it for good reason. And it was offense and defense. What just happened? My computer just did a thing. Gaming services just got updated. Check it out. Oh, I guess I'll be better at Call of Duty now. But think about that for a second, okay? Teams, not all the time, but teams knew by tendencies of the Cowboys, like, all right, if they line up this way in this personnel group, odds are they're doing this. And yet, you were able to have a really successful offensive season. You're 8-8, sure, but you were able to have a really successful offensive season. The reasons for optimism with this current Cowboy team, they're everywhere. I'm buying. I think this is an 11-win team. They're going to win the NFC East. They got a shot to chase the 1 seed because they were really good offensively last year, and they were handcuffed by a bad head coach. And I'm almost done talking about that, but when I saw that Zeke quote, I was like, well, how do you just ignore that? He's telling you that last year, well, if we lined up in shotgun in 11 personnel this way, teams kind of knew we were going to throw the ball. If we brought in 2 tight ends and we got under center, teams had a feeling that we were probably going to run the ball. And now, oh my God, things kind of look the same no matter what we're going to do. And that is the beauty of what the Rams unlocked, what was it, like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, where everybody wanted to copy them. 11 personnel, that's 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Everything looks the same. We're going to move around pre-snap to try to get you to tip your hand with coverage, but our plays are all run from the same formations with the same motions. We have different pass concepts out of it. We have different run plays out of it. And it stopped working for the Rams for a couple of reasons. One, I think teams did get a good feel for schematically what they should do in terms of putting literally a person in every single gap and at the line of scrimmage, like, what up now? And also because I think when your head coach is doing so much of the thinking at the line of scrimmage and then communicating to your quarterback, you're neutering your ability of the quarterback to figure out how to read these NFL defenses and do his job and what he's supposed to do. So the Rams were on to something, and the Cowboys can perfect it. With your 3 receivers, with your running backs, with your seam tight end threat, with your quarterback, you can do what the Rams started to do, which is perfect 11 personnel and score a ton of points. Now, I want to move on to red zone efficiency for the Cowboys because that's one of the things that was a knock on this team last year. They were not good enough when they got into the red zone. I've already shown you guys a bunch of numbers when it comes to, again, I'm sorry, Jason. I hope you have a great time in New York, and I hope you have a wonderful life. You're very happy, and you coach great. Again, this is a Garrett thing. So now I'm going to give you a comparison from one of my worst enemies, a guy named Bob at The Athletic. But we're going to compare red zone offenses of Mike McCarthy in 2016 with Green Bay and the Dallas Cowboys last year. The Green Bay Packers, with Mike McCarthy as the play caller, threw the ball 73% of the time in the red zone, ran the ball 27% of the time. That is the third highest rate of passing and the 30th rate of running. They got down there and they weren't afraid. That is everything Jason Garrett. This next number is everything Jason Garrett. When the Cowboys are in the red zone, almost 50-50, 51-49. Pass to run. That is the 29th of 32 teams when it comes to passing and the fourth most running the ball. And you've got a good running back. I'm not complaining about your running back in this one. Leave me alone, you comment people. Leave me alone. I'm not talking about the running back right now. But even in the red zone, this team has been more efficient throwing, and that's not the running back's fault. It's the NFL. Throwing is generally more efficient than running, unless your quarterback is horrendous. So they've been better at it, but they don't give the quarterback the opportunity to throw the ball. And it's to me, what that is Jason Garrett gets to the red zone and he goes, we got points on the board. We can't screw this up. Running is safe. 3 points is okay. And that is just awful in today's NFL. In today's NFL, the Ravens go for it on fourth down. Now, it bit them in the playoff game, and it kind of sent them home. But it also made them the best team over the course of the regular season, and if they could do it over again, they'd probably convert and maybe go beat the Titans. You got to be aggressive in the NFL today. It's the name of the game. You got to score points, and you got to be aggressive, and Jason Garrett has never been about that. He's been about out-execute you, have better players than you, protect the lead, keep the game close, screw that, go blow them out, go score points. Dak is actually good in the red zone. His numbers are good in the red zone. Like, I could understand if you said, okay, but Mike McCarthy in 2016 had Aaron Rodgers, and the Cowboys last year had Dak Prescott. So Mike McCarthy trusted Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball inside the 20, inside the 10, inside the 5, and the Cowboys didn't trust their quarterback. Like, you could say that, except there is no way to measure quarterback play that says Dak does not deserve that opportunity. In the red zone, he's efficient. Very good. Inside the 5, inside the 10, on the 2, on the 1. When he gets opportunities, you score touchdowns. There is no way you could measure quarterback play that says Dak's not good at it or at any aspect of quarterback play. So you just had to make something up like, well, I could see it. I watched him and he was bad. Doesn't look good to me. So that's that. And the other thing is schematically they have to take a step on the goal line. Again, my enemy, a guy named Bob at The Athletic, I saw him posting a still shot of a play against the Patriots where the Cowboys are in the red zone, and literally all 5 eligible receivers ran a stop route. I've talked about this before on the radio. They do that a lot. I don't know what you're doing schematically. Are you assuming that on the goal line or on the 10-yard line that a team is going to be in 2 deep and have 2 safeties who can't stop curl routes? Nobody's giving you a first down to the sticks when nobody deviates from a straight line and runs curls. But this team loved to do it on third down. Loved it. Come back, stop. Surely they won't cover that right at the first down marker. What? Stop it. You got to run pick plays and fake pick plays and work guys across the back and threaten all levels of the end zone and in the front there. And you got to just be smarter and be better, Cowboys, for crying out loud. Now, last thing I want to talk about today, before we probably get to a mailbag, right? We got to do a mailbag, is how old this team is. So this is from my buddy Bobby Belt. As you can see, a year ago, the Cowboys only had 2 old guys in their 30s that start at least half the games. 2020 Cowboys, who are in their age 30 season, and if you're confused about that, it means they'll turn 30 this year or they're already 30, their age 30 season. Lee, Dalton, Griffin, Goodwin, Alden, Looney, Poe, Crawford, Martin, Tyron. I don't mind this at all. Because you know the thing about young teams? Young teams have a bright future. teams with a great mix of young talent and veteran talent win Super Bowls. I was really excited a couple of years ago when I believe the Cowboys had the youngest team in the NFL, and they were pretty good. So you get really excited about that. But I would rather have this mix of Dak, Zeke, Cooper, CD, Gallup, Van Der Esch, Jalen, all that young talent supplemented with old men. You need your old men. I think it's great to have an option at center who's an NFL veteran, to have an option for a special teamer in Goodwin who's been around the block, to have Tyrone Crawford around to play multiple positions, to have a one technique who knows his role is just to be big and not get moved. I prefer this roster makeup. Now, you're going to get a list of guys who aren't going to be long for this team when you're 30-plus years old, but that's the sort of balance you need. That's what this team has been afraid to do for a long time. They wanted to be homegrown. They wanted to be young, and that's cool because that helps you have a bright future. But this team ain't about the future. This team is about the present. It's about today. So Bobby Belt with that number there, I don't know if he was insinuating anything.